Hi, I'm Patricia Ruby Powell, and I'm the author of Struttin' With Some Barbecue. Lil Hardin Armstrong becomes the first lady of jazz. Now, let me show you my Lil, my tree walking coon hound, Lil or Lilabelle, named after Lil Hardin Armstrong. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know why I wrote this book. My first career was that of a dancer and a choreographer. I traveled around the world with my company, One Plus One. I became a storyteller, a librarian, and now I write children's books. I've always been immersed in music. My husband is a jazz musician. He plays in a band called Traditional Jazz Orchestra, which plays the music that Lil Hardin Armstrong played. Morgan Powell. He is a music professor. Now, I am going to show you about the book, Struttin' With Some Barbecue. Lil Hardin Armstrong becomes the first lady of jazz. It's illustrated by Rachel Himes. Lil was born in 1898 in Memphis, Tennessee, not very far from wild Waylon Beale Street. And eventually she would marry the famous Louis Armstrong. But he wasn't famous yet. She helped get him there. But it's earlier in the book, the poem that I am going to read to you. She has just moved to Chicago from Memphis with her mother, and she's working at a music store on the south side of Chicago, and she's demonstrating sheet music on the piano because there were no recordings. The customers had to hear what the tunes sounded like before they bought the sheet music. So this is 1919. 1919 to 1920. Jelly Roll Morton, up from New Orleans, sauntered into the store. His long, slender fingers hit the ivories hard, wailing on the piano, playing two rhythms at once, hitting the offbeat, that syncopated, oh yeah. Everybody danced and shouted, but nobody danced wilder than Lil, who near danced out of her skin. After that, little old girl put every one of her 85 pounds to work, playing ferocious, playing syncopated, playing like Jelly Roll. She started changing notes here and there, running her fingers up crazy scales, playing trills. Dressed like a Sunday school teacher, she played hot licks on the piano. Dang, she was swinging like a gut bucket cat. Got herself a pay raise, $8 a week. Everyone just step aside, 'cause here comes little old girl, Step-a-da-doo. Now, Step-a-da-doo is scat singing, and I have that scattered throughout the book. Scat singing are nonsense rhythmic syllables that Louis Armstrong helped make popular. He'd sing nonsense syllables to go along with the jazz beat. And little old girl, that's what she was called, until they started calling her Hot Miss Lil. Now, manuscripts don't arrive at the publishers ready to go straight to the printer. There's a lot of revising that goes on, especially before they get to the publishing house and the editor. It's hard for me to write a first draft, but I love to do the revising. Once I've got words on the page and I can move them around and change the words and mold it the way I want to, that's what I find so fun about writing. So this is near the end of the process of editing, and you can see that Alyssa Pusey, my fabulous editor at Charlesbridge, and I are having sort of a conversation about the manuscript. Sashayed into the store. Alyssa writes, "Awesome." Later, she changed her mind and decided it wasn't so awesome, and I changed that word to sauntered into the store. And down here, wailing on the piano. Alyssa liked the sound of it, but she wondered, was that accurate? Wasn't that just brass instruments or wind instruments that wailed? No, I live amongst jazz musicians, and I can tell you, you can wail on any instrument. And the next page, right here in the middle, Gut Bucket Cat. Alyssa liked the sound of that, but what did that mean? So I made a glossary. And gut bucket cat is thoroughly defined in the glossary, and you can look that up. But briefly, it's a earthy, wild wailin' gal like Lil. Now, what might you do to write a rhythmic poem? Perhaps you could find a rhythmic poem that you love, like "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse." That is an anapest. It's a triple rhythm, two unstressed beats and a stressed beat. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Now you can rhyme it the way it's rhymed, mouse, house, or you don't have to rhyme it at all. That's an ABCB scheme, but you can just tell a story in that rhythm. Da-da-dum, 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 da-da-dum. Or you can do what I did with Struttin' With Some Barbecue. I listened to Lil's music over and over until it got under my skin, until it filled my bones. And then I tried to write in that rhythm, and I used the language of the day, the great slang that they used. You might choose your favorite popular music, or you might choose bebop, jazz, or swing music, or rap music. And if you were to do, say, Motown music, you might want to write about Detroit in the 1950s or 60s or 70s. Or if you listen to swing music, you might want to write about wartime, 1940s, or your own popular music. Write about the musician who makes that music. Use great words, use the slang of your era, and have a good time. This is really fun. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, and bye.